Hi PE 578. This is my response video for week 8 on burnout and overtraining. So let's just jump right into it. The first question is, when did you burn out? So the only time I can think of where I felt burnt out was in college. This kind of ties into question number 2. In what sport or activity were you participating? I was on the water polo team up at Cal State Monterey Bay, and we practiced year round. So we had practice in the off season, and then of course we were in season. But I remember my senior year, I wanted to put a little bit more extra time, or not extra time, but I wanted to exercise more, and so I asked my coach for a separate weight training program that he gave me. And so because I asked for it, I really felt obligated to do it, and that's kind of just in my personality, and felt like it would make me a better athlete. And so I was doing a like 3 to 4 days a week of weight training on top of morning practice, afternoon practice, and then just your regular game and tournament schedule, along with school and work. And so I just being on the team and having the practices was already enough, but I didn't feel that way. I don't know what I was thinking, but I put a lot on my plate. And especially my senior year when we had our capstone due, and there were a lot more stresses of academics that came into play that really made me feel burnt out. Question number 4 was, how did you feel physically? I remember being tired a lot and very fatigued. I felt like my mind was there and was ready to do things physically, but my body couldn't. And, or it couldn't to the ability that was normal. And so it was a really strange feeling when mentally you can do things, but physically you can't. So, I felt very tired and, weak. I definitely felt weak. Number 5 was, how did you feel psychologically? I think that my mind was definitely playing some games with me because, like I said, I took on this extra weight training program on my own, and it was a constant battle for me to really see this through throughout the whole season and not give up or not quit, even though it would be understandable, and I didn't want to do that. And so I was really having a mental internal battle. I felt like my brain was fried with working on my capstone and stressing out about deadlines and staying up late, waking up early, having way too much coffee. My brain just was not functioning properly, and I think that I really had to focus on one thing at a time to get through that time in my life. Question number 6 was, relative to questions 4 and 5, for how long did you feel this way? I think I would probably say a couple weeks. At the time, I procrastinated a lot on my capstone. I did little pieces here and there, but not a significant amount that would help me in the end. And so I left the bigger pieces to the end. And so that's why I think that I was lacking sleep, lacking motivation. And so I would say I felt like that for a couple weeks. And it was kind of a bummer because water polo is my absolute passion. I love it. I love playing no matter what the circumstances. I will drop anything and everything to get in the pool and play. And for the very first time in I don't know how many years, I didn't want to. I wanted to just sleep in my bed. I just wanted to rest. And I think that was a sign of being burnt out and just needing to rest. And then the last question is, did your symptoms occur suddenly or build up over time? I definitely think that it was a buildup. Our season was a few months long, and so I had been, doing all these things like practice and school and work for a couple months, but it wasn't till the end where things got real and everything became super important, and this is your degree. So it was like a lot of pressure. So I definitely think it was a buildup. It's not something that I could foresee happening in the beginning, which is why I overdid it, and I put on more things on my plate than I needed. So yeah, I don't think that it definitely felt all of a sudden when I didn't want to play and I couldn't focus and I felt weak and all those things. I'm like, what is happening? But looking back at everything that played into it, it definitely happened over time. So that is my burnout story. I've learned a lot from that. And I can't wait to hear from all of your terrible burnout moments and how they made you feel. So thanks for watching. It's week 8. We're almost done. Woohoo! And that's a wrap.